Well, hello there guys, and welcome back to our Hearts of Iron 4 Let's Play. I think one really cool thing about this Let's Play is people are always asking me when the next episode is going to come out, so I'm doing my best. I'm still kind of sick here, and I'm just doing my best to get these episodes out as quickly as possible. So we are basically right there on the precipice of the end of 1939. No, there we go, 1940. And I've heard a lot of people tell me that this is when things start to kick off in this mod. Now, in terms of our recruitment, or I should say our manpower, it's excellent. 4.90 million. I mean, our men are definitely ready to go in terms of a war. The problem is that most of our units don't actually have that much equipment. Our only real unit that actually does have equipment would be our infantry division, and I guess I can go ahead and add something else to them, but quite frankly, there we go. It's just really tough. We're doing our absolute best here to get as many additions to this division as possible, but it's taking forever to get that military experience up, and I really think it's going to require a war to pop off for that to even start occurring. So we're going to go ahead and start, and once again, the United States have taken the rest. General MacArthur doing a great job there at actually reunifying the states. Now we're just going to basically drop another civilian factory. Apparently we can put one more over here in Brandenburg in the center of the country. They deserve it, after all. I'd love to drop another military factory, but it's becoming a little difficult to get those military factories out. So I'm hoping that dropping that military factory there in Brandenburg will eventually work out. And once again, we have another civilian factory that we can build. The end of the American Civil War. For good or ill, the American Civil War is now over. The General Staff have been reported and learned many valuable lessons regarding the nature of modern warfare over the course of this conflict. You don't say. And we actually got 20 political power and army experience as well. 20 army experience. That is awesome, guys. We needed that desperately. And actually, one of the things we really needed it for is our Panzer Division and our heavy tank division. So I'm actually going to go to the division designer here, and I must admit, I suck with designing the divisions. So I'm going to go and either do we start a new division or create empty a new division, and we're going to try to do armored battalions, heavy tank. Go ahead, armored battalions, heavy tank. I'm not even sure if this is a smart idea. In fact, I'm not going to do that. No. And the reason being, we already have a bunch of divisions here which we can improve on. So we've added to our infantry division. We're not sure how many militia divisions are, but I'm going to take a look here. And as you can see, it's mostly infantry divisions that we have here. Not too many tank divisions. We're probably going to have to start building those tank divisions over time. We've got one right here, a Panzer Division. But those Panzer Divisions are going to be built little by little. So as you can see, I'm dropping more and more of these armies. We're going to bring them all here to the center where we built our other armies and make sure that they join up into a cohesive force. But right now, in terms of my recruit and deploy, first of all, I want to train some more Panzer Divisions, of course, and we'll drop them right here in Westfalen. I want to make sure to jump to our Panzer Division, or actually our infantry division, and add more here because they're doing pretty well, but we can obviously always improve. A logistics company is going to increase our supply. It's going to increase the HP of the actual division itself. I think that's probably pretty important, and I wouldn't mind adding another artillery piece here to the actual division, or even an anti-tank, but I think artillery is probably going to help the most, and we're going to go ahead and save that. We still have 6. So I might jump over to another one of our divisions, maybe the Infanterie Division mit Artillerie, but I think that maybe our Panzer divisions could use some work. And I actually added some heavy tanks here to these divisions, so I do hope that those heavy tanks come in useful. Motorized infantry, why not? We'll go ahead and add another motorized infantry unit to our heavy tank, or our Panzer divisions, and I'm going to really be creating essentially a Panzer division army for another general. Now, I do know that the French pose still a pretty serious threat, and we don't really know how to deal with that threat. I'm hoping that they will start a war with us, because that will give us justification to actually go to war with them. I'm not sure I want to be the first to attack, and once again, we don't need this. We don't want to lose that political power, of which we now have quite a lot. In fact, I'm going to jump to modify government. I think we're fine on our limited conscription. It seems to be working pretty damn well. I'd love to go to extensive conscription, but we can only do that during a war. So we're not going to mess with that right now. We still have more free civilian factories, so this is good. The one good thing is that our actual economy, our civilian economy, seems to be doing very, very well, and that's always a bonus for sure. Now, as for this, Yeah, there's a chance we could focus here, and outdated equipment is being produced. That's the pack gun, but what can you do? Also, the heavy tank needs more factory, so I'm going to drop another factory there in the heavy tank. Our needs for infantry equipment are filled, which is quite amazing considering the amount of infantry we have. But we also need some more light tanks, so I'm going to be increasing those, and I'm actually going to move that up in priority past the artillery. We also need artillery. I mean, we need just about everything right now. So we're going to go ahead and get that pack gun built. And let's go ahead and research some more stuff. What should we research? I think some more support companies are probably in order. Our support companies are pretty good now, but we could definitely improve them. So let's get that engineer company out. I'm not too worried about the outdated equipment because we don't have anything to replace it as far as I can see. We tried replacing it last time, and it didn't seem to work out very well. So let's hope that we figure that out. Potential increase in stability. With our political power gains, we have the chance to improve our stability. Shall we do it? I would say no, but then again, factory output's going to increase. National unity is going to increase. Our national unity is already at 90%, which is pretty great. However, getting that to 95 and spending a little bit of these political power points, I think I'm going to do it. If you guys think it's a bad idea, let me know in the comments down below. But in this case, we are going to do it to boost that national unity. Although from what I can see, it's still at 90%. So, oh, there we go. +5 good stability. So we got the military reform, guys, which is always a bonus. And we've really been trying to focus here on the actual, I guess, the promotion of our military. But I think I'm finally going to go and maneuvers in Alsace-Lorraine. We're going to ban French organizations. Well, we've already banned French organizations. But here it says the despicable red rulers in Paris feel bold enough to defy our supremacy and are now overtly supporting the rebellion in Lorraine. After long and extensive talks with the Kaiser and the top military, the Chancellor has approved partial mobilization of the reserves and is considering massive military exercises in Alsace-Lorraine. This is going to increase world tension. It's also going to give us a little bit of political power, which we basically don't really need. Well, I mean, you always can use political power, right? But I'm going to go ahead and say okay to that. Still some more free civilian factories, although what I'm really concerned about are the military factories. So I'm going to drop some more military factories around here and hope that that this is essentially the same as a civilian factory. If somebody can let me know what that's about, because the civilian factory thing did go away once we started building those military factories, of course. Now, we have plenty of planes in reserve, but as the war draws closer, or the possibility of war draws closer, I'm thinking we probably need to start focusing on even better planes, so that we're kind of ahead of the pack, as it were. Maybe even just focusing on engineering or construction would be pretty good. I'd love to jump into the atomic stage, but that's going to cost way too much. What about industry? So yeah, I'm going to go for excavation, actually. This will increase our resource gain, which actually I'm amazed we have not had an issue with. And I think that's probably because we built those synthetic oil refineries. God knows what they're using as a synthetic replacement for oil, but it better be something good. And with this, we might be able to be fairly self-reliant in our overall Let's Play. We still have those armies there. Guys, on the border of Russia. That's definitely something to consider. Dominion of Canada declared war on the Union of Great Britain. Now, for those of you that don't know, in the KaiserReich lore, and I know very little about it, but I do know this much, is that the British Empire, or the British monarchy, excuse me, ran away to Canada, or I should say, sailed away to Canada to escape the Red Revolution that took over the UK. So we have done our maneuvers in Alsace-Lorraine. We could, of course, put the syndicate back in their place and gains annex war goal against the Commune of France. Now, that right there is something to consider for sure. And I'm sure that those of you that are watching this series will want me to go to war right away. But I want you guys to consider something, and that is, of course, that, if we're going to do that, we want to make sure it's the right decision. So let's definitely make sure it's the right decision. I'm going to go for the Weltkrieg school for now and just try to increase that. But overall, if we are going to attack France, we want to make sure that we are prepared to attack France. We've even got an army up here led by Kaiser Prince Wilhelm, and they're training right now to try to increase the military power. I'm going to stop that training for now because they seem to be pretty well trained. And there we go, maneuvers in Alsace-Lorraine. It now seems that the Lorraine crisis cannot be resolved unless the French are humbled once again. And the time has come for Germany again to show its force. In this regard, at the request of the Kaiser, his grandson and future Crown Prince Wilhelm von Prussia will attend the military exercise organized in Alsace-Lorraine under the name Tuchtiger Bogenschutz. The name was chosen because now long-range artillery prototypes from Krupp factories are to be tested in real conditions during the exercise, which will be the largest concentration of troops since the Weltkrieg. No less than 8 divisions will be deployed near the French border, where fortifications have been fully manned. Three air regiments and armored units will also take part in the operations, which will be followed by many European military attaches. Ready to march on Paris. These troops will surely take the commune back down in terror. All right, well, we don't know yet if the war is going to pop off, but it's getting very close, and maybe we should be the first to make the move. I'm beginning to think that that's probably what we should do. I want to make sure, though, that we're totally prepared. So in that situation, I'm going to try and focus again on maybe getting some air units here, maybe a Junkers 88 to add to the devastation. And it looks like our formation flying is nearly finished. And here we go, the shelling of Laval. An unfortunate incident has just occurred during the military exercise in progress in Alsace-Lothringen. I mean, who would have thought, right? 2 of our new long-range artillery batteries manned by young recruits have mistakenly shelled a small French village by the name of Laval due to poor fire range elevation. According to the Red French broadcast, several locals would have been killed by this accidental shelling. Military police are currently interrogating the officer and NCOs in charge, but the French, shamelessly taking advantage of the situation, have issued an inflammatory statement demanding official apologies from the Kaiser and cabinet and threatening Germany of unpredictable consequences if we refuse to reply. Let's see. We could go ahead and send a formal apology, or this is an outrage. Ready the troops, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm readying the troops. Now, are they actually ready? I don't know, but this could definitely be the beginning of the war. So, Commune of France offers ceasefire. As gunfire exchanges and dogfights are increasingly frequent, diplomatic overtures have been made by the French to discuss a negotiated ending to the Lothringen crisis. Paris claims to be ready to demobilize troops, save for the border guard units, and will end to all support to French-speaking Lothringen paramilitary formations in exchange for German demobilization and retreat from the French border. No way. We're going to lose political power for refusing, but there we go. The war has popped off, guys. This is hardcore now. I'm not sure what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and select the army of Crown Prince Wilhelm, and we are going to march straight towards Paris. So I'm going to put the offensive line over there in front of Paris. We're, of course, assigning 24 divisions to that offensive line, and I'm going to go ahead and let Crown Prince Wilhelm get started on that assault. As for the rest of these guys, I think I'm going to try and either cut the enemy off here at Dijon and try to meet him here at Paris, or I'm just going to go ahead and attack just basically manually, which I think is probably the best idea. So we are going to go ahead. We're going to try to attack manually. I'm going to move forward, and guys, let's hope, please let's hope that we're making the right decision here. Obviously, we've got some tank divisions over here that could be used, and we've also got an army over here on the Russian border, which I think we're going to have to bring over to assist. So I'm going to select these guys, select all of them, and of course, bring them forward to the border. So I'm going to assign them, yeah. No, that's not good. No, I don't want that to happen. Why do you always do this? Oh my god. Okay, we're going to deselect. Wait a minute. Relax. 22 selected. Oh, I hate when that happens. Unassign all currently selected units. Yes. Okay, we're going to have to create, obviously, a new army here. We'll put Gerd von Rundstedt in control, and I'm just going to start moving all of these troops over here towards France. We'll mobilize them on the border when need be. Now I'm going to slowly lower the time here because any number of things could happen. And here we go. Put the syndicalists back in their place. Commune of France is called Socialist Republic of Italy as our enemy in German-French War, and of course the Union of Britain. I'm not at all surprised. We're going to try to call all our allies as well, and let's hope that they are willing to help us and ready to help us. Right now our attacks look to be failing miserably. We've called Freistaat Ceylon, we've called Deutsch Mittelafrika, Allgemein Ostergarsuz, the Kingdom of Ukraine. Pretty awesome. And one thing that's happening that's good is over here in the Belgian area, we do seem to be winning one of these battles. But overall, it doesn't seem to be looking that great for us. Then again, don't give up hope just yet. Thinking Erwin Rommel is breaking through over here, but I definitely want to grab some of our planes, some of our bombers and fighters, and start dropping them over here on the French lines. We're sending them into northeastern France, every single one of our planes, to assist, of course, with the conquest of this dastardly empire. So we're going to go grab this. We'll also take these men here. Send some fighters into northern France. We're basically just grabbing every single plane we have and bringing them over here. And, of course, we're going to have to bring another army here. And I'm hoping that they can pretty much break through. We've got these 8 tank divisions, and I'm thinking I might just use them as a sort of buffer to keep attacking the French troops. So look at this. We are actually winning across the border. Well, kind of yes and no. We were winning. Now things seem to have quieted down, and I wonder if our allies are actually going to join us. So a non-aggression pact request from the Canadians, why not? We don't want to fight Canada, so we're going to go ahead and accept that. Formation flying. And the question now is, how long will this war last? Will I get destroyed immediately? Or will I actually be able to beat the French? The fact is we just don't have the amount of focus we would like. No, we're not going to do that. The amount of focus we would like, we don't even have a ground plan. So I'm going to focus on a mass assault doctrine. Nah, let's do the grand battle plan. And hope that we can break through here. Another thing I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my ships. We've got so many ships over here. And we're going to send them right over here to the north of France to immediately start attacking the enemy in force. We'll keep sending these guys as well. And I hope that the British haven't joined, but I'm pretty sure that's exactly what they've done. It looks like we might need to coordinate these attacks. I'm going to grab some of these guys and send them to Lille. And it does look like we've got some Dutch troops also helping here, if that's possible. I'm hoping that our allies are really going to come to our aid. So actually, they did join us, our allies, thankfully. But can they do well against this threat? I don't know. Anyway, guys, I hope you're enjoying the Let's Play. It looks to me like that's a nasty loss of men across the border. The Great Crusade. Right-wing circles have been calling for a crusade against the Commune of France. And, of course, this is going to increase our political power. It's going to increase our manpower. It's war, and there can be no distractions, and that's definitely certain. We still have a few air wings with no missions, so I'm sending these guys over here as well. But across the border, it's not looking good. It's looking like all of our attacks right now are not doing very well. Let's just be honest. And I'm really hoping that our allies can come to our aid and assist us big time. You guys have to come over here. Yeah, very good, very good. And of course, we still have a few air divisions. We're going to be sending them into battle as well. But obviously, this is a heavily fortified area, and I feel like without the help of our allies, we're in a little bit of trouble here. As you can see, a lot of our forces are moving very, very quickly over there, and we're going to use them to try and break through the French lines. I'm thinking another army might make a big difference, but I'm definitely going to make you guys wait for the next part of the war. Anybody can put their thoughts as to what will happen down below. It does look like we managed to break through a little bit here, but it's really not much of a breakthrough. And everywhere else, the French seem to be holding steady and actually beating us back. So what that's going to mean for the future of the war, one can only guess. But probably nothing very good. I'm actually going to grab all these guys, and they already seem to be attacking together. But I definitely want to try to take the city of Lille. And these guys are just kind of hanging out here. I don't like that. But let's hope that eventually they get their act together and start attacking. We already have a naval warfare going on right here. And I think that we're going to be winning that war for sure against the French, the naval warfare aspect. But in terms of the land warfare aspect, that looks a little bit more complicated. So I definitely want to hear your guys' opinion on what to do next. Because this is getting pretty frightening. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. And, of course, glory to the Reich.